Hello culinary class. So we are going to get into our knife skills mini unit, as we are going to be able to use these skills when we are in our greens unit, our dairy unit, and especially our fruits and vegetables unit. So it's good to know what we have available to us and how we can safely use it. So first things first, what your PowerPoint PDF slides showed yesterday was there's lots of different options for cutting boards. I just want to show you a couple options that we have. We have acrylic cutting boards here at school, and these are very nice on our blades. They're very forgiving. They're not going to tend to dull our blades down, which is very nice. They're easy to clean. They're dishwasher safe, which for some of us, that's what we're looking for in a cutting board. We want something that's going to be low maintenance that we can just throw into the dishwasher. So that is what most of us are going to be using. But I wanted to show you a couple other options we have because I think they're so cool. This first one is actually an adaptable cutting board. So let's say I ever get to a point where I don't have full mobility in my hands for whatever the reason, and that can happen to any one of us at any given time. But what's cool about this is that it has these helpers built in, so I wouldn't need to have both hands holding onto food, so I'm able to just focus with my knife, and then the cutting board's gonna help me do the rest. So one thing that it has are these spokes. So what I could do is I could take my item and set it onto the spokes, and then imagine it's holding onto it, and then what it's going to do is it's going to hold it while I go through with my knife and do my cuts, and I can do that one-handed and then just remove the pieces when I'm done. The other thing it'll do, which is really cool, is that it has this little lever with kind of a guide or an edge right here. So let's say I had like a really big ham or a roast or something like that. I can actually move these pegs to whatever size food I have, and then I can set the food right in the middle here. I can get this piece to kind of clamp onto it so it's not going to go anywhere, lower the lever, and that's not moving anywhere. These aren't moving anywhere. So if I had a piece of food in here, it's stuck, it's clamped in, and so now I can go back and I can actually do my slicing and my cutting from there. So it's just a really cool cutting board. The great thing is that it has suction cup feet on the bottom, and if you didn't use the suction cup feet, it actually has some rubber feet here too, kind of right there, you can see it. So it's not going to be sliding all over the place on you when you're cutting. So it's just a really cool cutting board to try out if you needed it. Another cutting board that we have, also some suction cups on the bottom. This one's a lot more simple and basic. It just has the two spokes, and again, the idea is your food would go right onto those spokes, and then you would just be able to go through with your knife, do your cuts, and you could just use one hand. Now, let's say that motion is a little bit hard for you to do. They do make some different knife styles, and one that we've actually really enjoyed is from KitchenAid. It's a rocking knife, but it's a little bit easier because you can get pressure onto your food, whatever it is you're trying to cut, and sometimes the motion of this knife is just a little bit easier to control. So my point in showing you all of these things is that we do have adaptable options out there. It is not just limited to a big chef's knife and your traditional cutting board. You would have many other options, and these are just tip of the iceberg that I'm showing you today. So if you're ever in need of something like this, be sure to check out different websites because they would have some adaptable models for you to use to make these skills a lot more independent and easy for you to do.